If you're talking sports, it's the matchup. Mickey here with Zizzy, yeah, we're cutting it up. Just a couple athletic enthusiasts. You know what it is, the Mickey Zizzy podcast. Season 4, episode 19. I mean, we're one away from getting out the teens, getting out the
About
pregnancy.
time.
It's getting there, it's getting there. So, I am very excited to be back once again, talking about sports, talking about football. It is our first NFL recap. We're gonna also talk about that college life a little bit. Big football episode is gonna be a lot moving forward. But you know what it is. We're gonna get into it first and foremost. Supplementation. www, whatever, pinnaclesup.com. Go ahead, check it out. All of your supplements, all your wellness needs. Get your merchandise. Use that Mickey Zizzy discount code. It's gonna help you out. I'm just telling you. And then on top of that, of course, as always, our main man, Grant Anders 3 on all socials. Go ahead, check him out. The man is just a basketball, I don't know, park legend, I guess for us. Like I don't know all the labels other than what the ones I'm gonna use. I mean, secrets. I mean, come on, let's get into it.
Secret
Mickey Hines,
sauce, shooter,
baby.
smucka, smack talker. There's a lot of smack talk to go around this week. Obviously, I was down bad. Like I was sick. Plus, we'll obviously be talking about that game that broke my soul on Sunday. But overall, a very eventful football week, and I think it's everything that a football fan could have wanted. Fantasy scores are coming in. All the dudes got to start talking about it again, like what happened here or there. Definitely some duds and whatnot. So we'll do a little brief, fantasy stuff here and there to talk about the podcast, fantasy, and the pick'ems. Give you a quick update about that, which actually this time include those cats that also did actually join. But super exciting first week recap for this NFL season. But first, the Mark Mason person of the week. Yank, who you got?
Mark Mason person of the week is going to Mr. Michael Mercado. Is actually my tattoo artist. Because the next one is officially coming as of next week.
Let's go.
So pretty excited for that. We were in studio this week looking at just doing the layout, doing designs. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a big one. I'll wait for everyone to actually get to see it before we talk about exactly what it is. But I'm excited, man. It'll be a good one, especially for us and the boys in the group. Everyone will be part of it. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, buddy. Obviously, I love a little bit of ink therapy. I got mine coming at the probably end of October, so I got a little twofer. I'm gonna get my leg and my back done. But we love hearing that. But my person the week's gonna be the little brother, Travis Hines. Hasn't really got shouted out on this podcast that much, but he's over there crushing life with his girlfriend. He's working real hard, making much money. They live on their own now. So super happy for them. And we're also gonna go see the Hawks play this weekend. So we get a little brother bonding time. Super excited to go see him. And obviously we're gonna go see the other boys who are tailgating out there. But we're gonna go cheer on the Hawkeyes this weekend. So I get a live viewing of, hopefully we put up more than 25 points. But
are we doing it like the wedding? Is there a live bet happening on the game?
Shoot.
Dude.
Might have to. No. Not yet. But let's jump into week. And ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start off slow. So we're gonna start off with college football before things get way too crazy. But this might sound a little crazy, Yank. I'm gonna kind of come off kind of crazy. Crazy. The Colorado State coach, who I have no idea who his name is, goes, "When I talk to adults, I take my hat and sunglasses off." All right, talking about Coach Prime. Are you kidding me? Two things. First of all, that's childish. We're in the 21st century. It don't matter if you got sunglasses, necklaces, hats, you got tattoos. It don't matter, Yank. Okay? Adults are adults, and I thought that was super childish on that guy's part. Right? You're just trying to take a stab at Coach Prime, right? Because he does it a little bit different, right? Guess what else changed, Yank? We don't wear suit and ties on the sidelines, right? George Hallis ain't on the sidelines calling out plays in a suit, right? They don't do that no more in the league. All right, nor in college football. And now you gave the team who thrives off of ammunition, right? Now it's personal. Oh, my soul. When you hear that, you're like, dang. The Michael Jordan. And I took that personal. Or isn't that the meme? Like, that's scary, right?
Take it personally, you know?
And I took it personally. That's what it was. I took it personally. So now you give them the ammunition. They're already going to roll 40 on you. Like, y'all just made it where it might be 50, 60 now. And I think it's crazy for them to do that. I love Coach Prime swag. I love what he does with the players, let them be themselves so that they're more likely to play and try their best. I absolutely love it. And last bit about that is I'm just so surprised. Like, we all have those friends that are like, oh, it's go time. Like, once you start trash talking, you're like, dude, don't trash talk him. He's about to go off now, right? You do that in basketball. I'm pretty sure if you did that to like DB in basketball, it's like, dude, really? Right?
Yeah.
He wasn't trying, and now here he goes. You really let the cat out of the bag. But I want to hear your thoughts about that whole fiasco that's going down in Colorado.
I mean, it's about to be a fiasco for Colorado State, and I thought that before. Honestly, you bringing that up is the first time that I even had heard about it. Honestly, I hadn't even heard about the jabs that he had made. So,
I think it was today.
Jay Norvell is the Colorado State coach.
Yep.
I'll say.
Gotcha.
They, I don't know, but I do know that for on loop for the last week, I've heard it's personal, right? Like, they didn't want to say nothing, but then they had to talk about my boys, and it was personal. Everything about this game, the coach gonna talk about me. It's personal. Like I've heard this thing on loop now. I love it. I could breathe that. That is the Colorado mantra. And then you're telling me, like, as the other coach, like we talk about bulletin board material, we talk about all that, right? Like you're telling me you haven't seen all these clips about it's personal, you haven't heard about any of this, your players aren't in tune with any of that, then you go out and do the exact same thing. Like, that's just dumb. They're gonna blow them out. They are gonna blow them
I
out.
hope they do. I hope they hang
Call it
60
now.
on them.
I'm gonna call it now. I think that it was already like a 20-point spread, man. But oh my, it's gonna be ugly.
And that's my thing. You never want to give those guys the extra edge, the extra bulletin board
Not the
material. And obviously, they're
pros.
going to go out, like then there's some respect. Like once you lose that respect to the other coach, like, fellas, one, stay in. Here we go. All right, there's a lot of different, veteran coaches who
Well,
would
the
never do
QB is
that.
his
But
son. It's not like he's gonna take it all personal too.
oh yeah, so crazy there. Also, a
Texas
big
back?
game was Texas upsets Alabama, which our take of them going to college. They still can. They still can go to the college football playoff. Okay, because Texas will be a good team. But Yang, talk to me. What happened to the Crimson Tide?
Well, I mean, I came on this episode like hyping up Jalen Milroe, right? I was totally hype on him. His rushing a bit. I mean, he does. Even still in this game, when he runs downhill, it is a scary sight to see. But just indecisive, just some confusing decisions. I mean, not the best, not the best throws into coverage. I mean, turnovers that you can't have, throwing right into the numbers of defense. It never really looks good when that's happening. But I mean, give a shout out Texas, man. Like, this is college football. This ain't the pros. Like, this is about heart. This is about talent is not always equal on every side of the ball. Like, I love it's the college atmosphere. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. But shout them out because they played a hell of a game, both sides of the ball, just up and down the field. There was no really give in that fight. Even when Alabama was down, like, you still always kind of get that feeling with Bama, like they're never out of it. Like,
Yep.
Texas said, no, I'm going to stomp on the throat and we're going to end it here. So it was great. In a way, it's great to see, right? Like, a lot of people are down goes Bama, down goes Bama.
We're back.
And I'm honestly okay with that. Like, we have seen them win a lot, but the week of me saying they're going to the college football playoff, would have liked it a little bit later on in the year. Not my best take there. Not my best take. I'm saying national champs too. Oh,
Yeah, I know you got a long haul there for that take. That might be one of the worst, but like Quinn Ewers, man, 350 for 3 touchdowns. Like, that is a great stat line nonetheless, but it was against Alabama, one of the most prestigious college franchises, teams, dynasties there ever is. And you do that against one of the best teams in the nation. Like, I can't wait to see what Quinn does in these other games. So he's an absolute baller. I know he's been there for a while. Injuries have kind of hurt his season. So I think Texas trying to put it together. No, I don't think they're going to do it, y'all. I'm not saying Texas is going to take the place. They're going to take place in the college football playoff. But you got to.
I think when it comes with Quinn, I think the biggest thing is, like you said, like Quinn Ewers, like the stats are there, right? But the biggest thing is we didn't really talk about it coming into the game was his performance in the game last year up until his injury that forced him to exit the game. I mean,
And then they
Texas,
lost.
Texas was leading the game. They end up losing on a last second field goal. I mean, if Quinn Ewers plays in that game, they win that one too, if you ask me. I mean, it's just fully healthy go. I mean, so whether or not it's Texas having their number, whether it's just the quarterback has it figured out, I mean, whatever it is, but Texas has looked great against Alabama the last 2 years, and then I mean, they punched through.
Yeah, exactly. Final punch through. You gotta shine some light there. But that's just our quick little college recap of two of the biggest games, or soon to be game, two biggest storylines that I saw. Anything on your end for college football?
I mean, I will say, got to shout out the boys, FSU, looking good, 55 and averaging 55 game through two.
That's why I'm on the train too.
We'll take it on the train.
I'm on the train as well. And the Hawks won. Barnbird 20 to 13. It was just
Hey, that's Iowa State though.
exactly. The rivalry is amazing. Defense got a pick six to pretty much win the game. You know that's electric when that happens, and special teams was special in that aspect too. But Hawks got that dub. They got Western Michigan, should be a W this weekend. But enough on the college. Let's get to the NFL recap. Yeah, do you want to start us off, or should I? Because you're on cloud nine versus your team's.
I mean,
let's get the good vibes. Hit me up with it. Give me your rant.
I already picked it. I said Miami Dolphins going to the Super Bowl type thing. Like it's a vibe. I mean, and now I mean, there's so much to get into the whole Aaron Rodgers thing. That's what, but just we are prime. We're prime right now. The offense looks amazing, and it's one game. I get it, but whether or not we want to bring up your rants about Tyreek Hill being the most important player on the team, whether we want to bring up my rants from last year about Tua being MVP caliber, whether we want to talk about the dynamic duo, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek, it doesn't really seem to matter. That game itself was a barn burner. The defense is going to have to tighten up, obviously, but when you're going against an elite offense led by Justin Herbert and the weapons that they have, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, everybody, you expect it to be a high-scoring game. You just hoping that your offense can keep up. And honestly, 466 yards, 3 touchdowns, 200 plus yards from Tyreek, 10 plus catches. I mean, it speaks for itself. I'm as excited as anybody can be. I truly believe we are a top 3 team in the AFC. We're a cream of the crop class. We're going to be that competitive as long as everybody stays healthy. I'm beyond excited, but it is week 1, and I did the same thing last year when we started 3-0, and I freaked out. I ran the entire neighborhood when we started 3-0 last year. I'm going to cool it just now, but do I expect us to absolutely blow out New England on Sunday night? You're damn right. You're damn right.
You have all that right to talk. I mean, my point just grows and grows. Tyreek Hill, MVP, like 215 for 2. Like if he keeps that stat line up, it's about time we give the wide receiver or some other position.
Have to go get a new jersey hung up in here.
All right, yeah. I might go get a jersey if Tyreek Hill gets an MVP. Dang gummit. No, he is one of the best players in the NFL, and it's great. Tua can just make those throws. And Tua had a phenomenal game too. On the flip side, like Herbert didn't do necessarily anything great. Austin Eckler's a dog though. Like he is the reason why you should have picked him in fantasy. 117 for a touchdown, rushing there, and then receiving he had 47. And only one touchdown for Herbert, though, with scoring 34 points. You thought, it'd be a barn burner. 2 ahead, 3. Herbert only had 1. Oh, so the rushing attack was a thing. And I get it. Obviously, you got to pass the ball to get downfield.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like they passed the ball fine. They just, they would get inside the 15 and Eckler's taking it in. It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, so I think overall, I mean, those are both really, really good teams. I think Miami, especially with Buffalo's struggles. I mean, we're going to talk about that game, obviously, later. But with their struggles, Miami can make that jump to the top 3. They can be in contention for that AFC championship. And I hate saying that game because you're a Dolphins fan. But the Dolphins are fun to root for, right?
Baby, bring it on.
What do I love? I love speed. I love how fast people go.
Sir.
And, yeah, Legion of Zoom. I respect it. I'm calling a spade a spade. I ain't going to say it. They have a legit chance if he could stay healthy. That's my only thing.
Yep. No, it's a big thing. I'm really got a good angle looking at the division wise. If you ask me, this is all week one, right? We can be like Stephen A. It's fluid. It's fluid. But like, I'm just saying, it is very good vibes in Miami right now. You're looking at the schedule. I mean, yeah, we have a tough schedule, especially on that back half, but the next 6 games, got a chance to get off to a really good start.
Oh yeah. Skip. Have you seen the new First Take stuff? Shada keeps calling.
Yeah. Keeps
That's
calling.
awesome. I love it. I love Skip's new show too. Obviously, we're not going to highlight too many of those other podcasts, but they're pretty fun to watch with them breaking ties. Let's make that transition into your own conference. The Bills versus the Jets. Obviously, the big storyline. Let's put a pin in it. We're gonna come back to it. But the Bills, what happened? Josh Allen fell apart. First off, it ruined one of my fantasy leagues. I was up 23 points. Jets defense put up 26 because of Josh Allen. So I got some bad beef with the Bills. All right, karma came my way, Yank, because I was off the Bills bandwagon last year.
Fantasy, holy heck.
Yeah. So 236 for a touchdown and 3 interceptions. And he had a fumble. That's not winning football. When they went out there, they did not look confident, right? Stephon Diggs still had 100 yards, 10 receptions, and a touchdown. Like, that is their only offense. Their next receiver to have the most receptions is Gabe Davis with 2. They're a run-trick pony right now. And that's why I kind of hopped off the bandwagon of making them go to the Super Bowl. Josh Allen is great, but if he's struggling, right, they got no run game, right? James Cook, not going to believe in him. Sorry. But the Bills are going to struggle, and they have to really beat a team by 21 for all these people to get back on, like, all right, the Bills are legit. They have a shot. My eyes, they are on life alert trying to save their season. I know it's week 1, right? Flow, all this and that. But, and then the Jets, I mean, they got it done. The punt return for a touchdown, absolutely electric. That was amazing. You know me in special teams. But, and then the biggest thing about the Jets, sorry, and then I'll let you talk, is Robert Saleh, right? That's their coach, was one of the first dudes to run on that pile. Like, I love that, man. Like, that's awesome. Like, I got so much more respect for the Jets.
Xavier Gibson?
Yeah, he's running out there like, let's go, let's go. I know he was big on Hard Knocks.
Basically thought he threw him down. I know it was the
exactly.
Player,
so, like, that's exciting that he is so excited to see the Jets do this, especially with all the emotions of 9/11 with our pin we'll talk about in just a second. But I like that Jets, man, and the Bills game without the big.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the game was without the pin, so it's fine. I will say that Zach Wilson's obviously still got a lot to develop on that side of the ball, but like, can we talk about the early return of Breece Hall? Like, off of fresh off the ACL injury, the man is absolutely electric. I mean, I want to say he had like a 60-yard carry that he broke.
He did. I think it was 85.
Was it that long? I mean, geez, like either way, he had yardage. He might have broke the 100-yard barrier already in week 1, and he barely really even played or had that many carries. So that's super promising for them moving forward. I expect to lean on him and Dalvin heavily moving forward. Garrett Wilson, absolute dog. I've never seen somebody play defense and offense like that really in the NFL with one hand and still get the catch for a touchdown. That was pretty damn impressive. And then on the Bills side, dude, like, I mean, the defense played. Matt Milano is a dog at linebacker. He is a dog. He's one of my favorite guys to watch at that position right now. Tre'Davious White did his thing for the most part. I mean, they had pressure. They were all over the offensive line. Like, they were doing their thing. They were fine. But on offense, for us to come in the game, especially with how it started, like, he throws the early touchdown to Stephon Diggs. They look like they get out to an early lead. Looks like they're rolling, obviously, with the big pin. I just am saying, like, it looks, you're feeling good. You're looking, but like, to end up with 3 picks and in the fashion that they did, there was a couple where he's just on the run. He's trying to make something happen, throwing out of bounds, either throw it out of bounds, dish it to the person 5 feet in front of you that's wide open. Don't throw it into double coverage 60 yards downfield on the run across your body. I just don't understand the decision making. I mean, there's a reason why Josh Allen has led the league in turnovers over the last 2 seasons. And I want to say it's even since he's entered the league, he has the most turnovers. Like, it's not a great look. Like, yeah, all the special plays, the talent is definitely there. But if you turn the ball over, I mean, that differential is everything in a pro sport.
And that's where you win the ball game, is if you have a better high plus turnover ratio, you're going to be good.
He was putrid. That is my definition for Josh Allen. Putrid.
All right. No, I totally get you. But the last part about this game, Ink, let's pull that pin. Aaron Rodgers out for the rest of the year. And you know what? I feel so bad. Like, truly from the bottom of my heart. Like, even for like Packers fans, I know they don't get the pick. Like, all that aside, like, the dude seemed happy, right? I heard so many reports, Pat McAfee saying he's the happiest he's been, right? He has this, he's being a new leader, he's got a new light. Like, the dude just wanted to go play football with some guys. Like, he had good relationships. And like seeing that injury, dude, I walked around kind of scared the next day. I was like, ooh, I don't want my foot to, like, my left calf was kind of freaking out. I'm like, don't you
Yeah, I'm
dare
not gonna
do it.
lie. It's been a little tight lately, and I'm like, ooh, hang on.
I know. I'm like, whoa, come on now. Like, I am just so scared. It is so disgusting. It's like, oh.
And the thing was, is like, I don't know about you, but like watching it, like you knew.
He knew right away too.
He knew, like that whole moment of him getting back up and just looking at the sideline of the stadium, like that was him already. Like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
That, like, let me take this moment in for a second, because holy hell, like I couldn't process it. What killed me, is when Garrett Wilson talked about seeing him at halftime or whatever, and like Aaron already pretty much knew. Like he went up to him, he was like, "Hey, bro, like hope you're all good, like whatever else, like like the reassurance thing just hits him." And he looks at him as just like, "I'm sorry, kid." Like he wanted that, man. Like, and he feels for the team. He feels like he's letting them down. Like you said, like I couldn't imagine the scale of that. Like you're 4 plays in, you're 70 seconds into a game.
70 seconds. Yeah.
Like, and the entire season's gone, and the entire hopes for the team are different. Like
100%.
they're now hoping to make a playoff spot. Their next game is against the Dallas Cowboys.
I know, and we'll talk about that.
That is a nightmare for Zach Wilson. So I feel for the entire team. I feel for the fan base, man. Like, all the Jets fans too are like always so skeptical. Like something bad's gonna happen, whatever else, and then they see him run on the field holding the flag. It's real. It's
right.
real.
That moment was kind of cool.
It was. I almost wish that he got there, like did the wave at the end. Oh, I would have freaked out. But yeah, to end like that, heartbreaking, man. There's nothing, even no matter how you feel about Aaron Rodgers, that is awful to watch.
Yeah, 100% is, and I apologize for me. I promise I am listening, Rascal. We're getting a little practice, I guess, with the kids. But at the end of the day, it is so sad, and like I am like actually feel sad, and like that is terrible. You never want to see it, but like, after the darkness comes the dawn, like I'll be back. Woo! That's kind of all right. That's kind of sweet.
But like think about it, like every sports media outlet for months, 6 months or whatever, has been talking about this every day, every other day. Yep. And that's how it ends in 70 seconds. It's just that is insane.
It really is. But what's the second team you're going to talk about? And then I'll talk about my last team.
For me, it was going to be the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, good. I wanted to touch light on that.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to talk about them, but we can definitely bring up some other teams or go through our little speed round and whatever else. But
we can talk about them too. Let's talk about them Cowboys. How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Hit me.
A goose egg, 40-0, not even a game. How many times have I told you on this show? Daniel Jones does not deserve the bag. 2 interceptions and 100 yards. Mr. Yankovic, are you joking? That might be my best take of the year. Dang gummit. Dude, atrocious, right? And I get it. Saquon had a fumble. He only had 50 yards. And I get it was raining, but it was raining on both sides. But that Cowboys defense is just running around crazy. Like, that defense looks scary, scary good, right? Vander Esch, you have Stephon Gilmore, you have Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs. Like, dude, it's crazy, right? Forced fumbles out the wazoo as well. All name people aside, right? Tony Pollard showed, hey, there's a reason why he's league left. 70 yards and 2 touchdowns, like, that's great. And then you still get Rico Dowell, like 24 yards, like that's good out of a running back too, right? A no-name running back number 2, like that's what you want. Take some plays off, Tony. All right, let this guy cook a little bit. And that receiving core, I'm not too hyped up about it, but like they're getting the job done. I mean, CeeDee Lamb was 77, was kind of the big number there. And Dak, though, we're talking all this trash about Daniel Jones. Dak only had 143 for nothing. But you didn't need to do anything, Yank, right? You really didn't need to do much because Tony Pollard was running the rock. The defense was scoring. absolutely insane, but I think the target is too big on the Cowboys now. I don't think they're going to rise to that, like, oh, the Cowboys are real. They're the top team in the NFC. Like, they're not going to be that team. They're going to fall off. But, like, week 1, I'm happy.
I mean, I'll tell you this. They looked like the best team in the NFL for week 1. For week 1. You don't shut people out very often, if ever, in the NFL. And you definitely don't do it looking like that. That was embarrassment. That was absolute disrespect. And it wasn't even like done in a malicious way. They just completely owned the game. And when it talks about the defense, like you brought up the names that are on there, but it's the way they were attacking New York with a 30-point lead in the fourth quarter. Like they are swiping at balls. They are punching at balls out. They are making plays behind the line. They have 7 sacks on Daniel Jones. They get another 3 quarterback hits on Tyrod Taylor when he comes in the game finally. By the way, Giants, what are you doing? Get him out of the game. But
Why?
yeah,
He needs to
why?
practice.
Why? I don't
No,
understand.
Daniel Jones needs to practice.
Yeah, it was ugly, but it was just. I mean, scrap the whole game when you want to talk about offenses. Honestly, for both, like the Giants, it was terrible as you can be. Scrap it, move on. Week 2's another day. For the Cowboys, like you didn't have to do anything. You were winning by just the defense alone. The script was to run the ball, which Tony Pollard did look great. The offensive line looked really good. Passing, I mean, I've been saying I think Dak has fallen off, but at the same time, like they didn't need to throw. But what I can take from it is CeeDee Lamb had 70 yards in a game where they didn't need to throw. Like Dak had 160 yards and CeeDee had 70 of them. Okay, like watch out for him in a game where they really do need something. So I do like everything that I saw from Dallas. I think they were the best looking team in the NFL, but like let's scrap some of it and see what happens when we get some real competition for both these teams.
Oh yeah. I think with the Cowboys, they're gonna be a fun team to watch. Don't get me wrong. And you do talk about that downfall of Dak Prescott. It was our first season. We talked about him. Should he get paid the bag? And it's kind of that result. Like he got paid, and he's only taking us to the second round of the playoffs. Like, come on now. But like that's still great. Like you can't really get that mad. I mean, when your team goes to the playoff that much, you could be getting the first round draft pick and still lose to your arch rival. But absolutely crazy. But yeah, let's move on.
Move on. Are we ready?
I got my last team, and then yeah. I'll talk about my last team, and then I think you'll have one more. I'll let you kind of bring up one more team we can really digest, and then we'll hit it with our lightning round. All right, Mr. Yankovic, and we'll talk about our Beat the Podcast people and fantasy.
All right.
Let's cook it. All right, Chicago. Since 2018, 9 games straight, we've lost to this team. Yank, Haley and I have been together. I've never seen a Bears W. Come on,
I'm
man.
sorry, dude.
Dude,
I believe
the worst part of it was new quarterback, like new spark for us, all these new pieces, and we went and laid a dud. We made Jordan Love look like some all-star quarterback, and I hope he has a really bad week this week. All right, I really do. Okay, but that's just my hatred for the Packers. Aaron Jones just cooked. I mean, he had 40 yards on the ground, 80 in the air. He had 2 touchdowns. Like, he was the main focus of it. When he was in, I was like, dang, we're not doing well. But let's flip the entire thing. Chicago, you have to throw the ball vertical. Justin Fields, you have to throw the ball vertical. He threw it great to the sides, like a lot of good out routes, corner route when we scored to Darnell Mooney, right? You had, like, the screen game. He did well running. I mean, he had 60 yards on the ground and only 4 sacks, but 200 yards, touchdown, and interception isn't going to cut it. And when you trade your number 1 draft pick, Yank, and target the guy only twice in DJ Moore, twice. This guy's supposed to be your number 1. And Cole Kmet and Darnell Mooney had 7 apiece. Come on, man. You can't do anything. Go trips to the right, send him on a solo dolo and let him just have a jump ball or speed or something. Anyway, I'm hurt, but I've had a lot of time to just like digest my feelings, and it's bounce back week. Your biggest growth of the team is from week 1 to week 2. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to show the team, like everyone is now left. All the like hype is left, and now they can just focus on themselves and go be a great football team. I'm all the way back on the Bears. We're good. We're going to get our first W against Tampa Bay. We're going to go down to Tampa Bay and go get it. That's my Bears recap, extended version.
An extended recap for sure. Just from your extension of your emotions that I got to witness on Sunday. It was a letdown. I was just as surprised. Not I mean, it just looked disorderly on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, Justin Fields still has. I mean, I don't know if it's the line not being there because the line is just not.
Braxton Jones was not good. He had 3 holding penalties himself.
Yeah, so the line's just not looking great. I mean, DJ Moore was kind of shut down, but I can't tell if that's if that's a effect or cause and effect, the rest of the offense. There's still so much to be improved. There's so much to be desired, but at the same time, like there's better pieces, and it should be better than last year at a time. Like for a team that we saw that was scoring like 30 points a game at one point. Like, so I know it's there, but to be there on a consistent basis is everything in the NFL. So we're waiting to see it. I'm not jumping off the complete bandwagon for them to be better this year. I think they're going to still be better this year. Now the whole playoff run and everything that you're talking, that's different, but I do expect them to be better. We'll see what happens. I like a potential bounce back. I mean, we'll see what we got going with the picks and all that.
Yeah, last thing too, like third down, they were so good on third down. It was stupid. We'd stop them, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 6, and they go get the first down. I'm like, come on, man. Like that's the drive killer. That's
don't let the score of this Green Bay game, like anybody that was watching it, like they're gonna be like, oh, the Packers just smacked the Bears across the field. Like, no, it was not really like that at all. You guys gave away the ball in great field position for them. They have a defensive touchdown in the game. Like, I mean, that's points right there. You take that away. I mean, the game was a lot closer than what the score showed. I will say that.
Yes and no. We were down by a touchdown pretty much the entire game at 2 touchdowns. So, big bounce back week. But any other team before we do lightning round?
For me, it would just be the Niners.
Okay. I got a good, quick take on that one.
For the Niners, man, they never cease to amaze me with how just consistently solid all around that they are. I mean, the defense is one of the strongest in the NFL. We kind of knew that coming in, but nobody wanted to really acknowledge it or talk about it still. That's still a thing. Regardless of what you thought of the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether it was preseason hype or whatever else, I mean, they shut them down for the majority of that game. Christian McCaffrey with an entire offseason. That dude is explosive. I mean, 159 on the ground. I want to say like over 50 or 40 or 50 receiving. I mean, the dude is an absolute stud. 200 all-purpose yards for your first game with a full off season. I mean, that tells me everything I need to know. Brandon Ayuk, welcome to the breakout season. It's about time. We've been waiting on it for a season or two, but I think it might just be here. And maybe that's just because of his rapport with Brock Purdy. Who knows? But that's another guy. Brock Purdy.
It's funny you didn't talk like nearly anything about the Steelers, and that's what they did though. Like they didn't deserve to be like talked about. Like I'm not trying to say like it's a bad thing, but Kenny Pickett, right? Pickett twice, okay, 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown. Najee Harris they didn't have a first down until 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Like, come on, dude. Allen Robinson, I forgot he was not even on the team, right? That receiving core is actually good. Allen Robinson, Deontay Johnson, and George Pickens.
And now we got Deontay Johnson injured. Like, oh, come on.
Like that defense really didn't do much. They let Brock Purdy cook.
Other than TJ Watt, I felt like TJ Watt was the only person playing for the Steelers.
Yes, because he had 2 sacks that game or 3?
He had 3 or something. 3 in the first half.
Yeah, he had 3 in the first half. Okay. And the thing that's awesome about the 49ers is they don't need a good quarterback. Brock Purdy is efficient, and that's
all. But he has been great. We can't deny that.
He's been great. And like when you have Christian McCaffrey going off, like we said, like that's amazing. And then Ayuk, right? I remember talking trash about him in the first season too. Like, Ayuk? Who? Like, I gotta eat my words because he's balling right now. And like they still have Deebo Samuel. Remember that guy? Yeah, he's pretty electric. He's the dude. So I mean, they are a jack of all trades type of team, and they're gonna be scary. They are gonna be the number 1 seed, if not the Eagles in the NFC. To me, those 2 teams, I can really, really get
Yeah, I
behind.
could probably say, like, if you wanted to go with my prediction, I'd already said the Dolphins. I can't remember in the NFC, but I would definitely probably lean Eagles or Niners. So.
After week 1, yeah, I think they're the most scary team of the NFC for sure. I'm glad you brought that up. But yeah, Brock Purdy, man, like go off, Mr.
2
Irrelevant.
touchdowns in every regular season start, undefeated in the regular season. Talk to the guy, Mr. Relevant. Who? I'm Mr. Relevant.
Oh yeah. So Yank, we're gonna do a quick shout out to Beat the Podcast, quick shout out to the fantasy, and then lightning round. You ready for all this?
Absolutely. Get at it.
Yank, some newcomers into Beat the Podcast. Welcome, Tyler Frazier. Welcome, Colton Clark, Brock Flack. Welcome, Sierra Bisso. And I think that's it. Those 4 are newcomers.
Oh, we got the new names. And then we returned everybody, right?
Welcome, returned a lot. I think 1 or 2 people didn't join, but I think we have 25, 26. So that is amazing. They all got their picks in. And the week 1 winner, the wife, Haley Hines.
I know.
Right underneath my nose.
Oh, under our noses.
She said, I didn't think I did that good. Are you kidding me? I actually thought about it. I'm like, oh, that's not a good pick. And she balled. And then on the flip side, the fantasy football, we're going to do a quick recap about that as soon as I pull it up. But y'all, fantasy football is back. Go check it out. It's amazing. And Yank, give us your quick recap of your fantasy football week. How did it go?
It went fantastic. Probably as good as it could have possibly gone. I will say, am I an addict if I'm in 8 leagues? Yeah,
I'm in 5, so you're good.
I'm in 8 leagues, but I did win all 8. So that was
I went 3-2. So yeah, real quick about that. Mason scored the most points with 168 against Haley. Absolutely crazy. I had 142. I'm really happy, and I have a quarterback problem there. And then off to Hizzy, you scored 147. So 5 more than me. I mean, the top 3 dudes in the league the past 3 years. We're there. We're talking. So
you're back, baby.
Familiar faces.
And Mason's always there, man. He's got that team.
And he will be. And Yank, let's cruise through this lightning round. You were right. The lock of the week was Detroit Lions to upset the Kansas City Chiefs. No Kelsey, no Jones. L for the Chiefs. Lions win 21-20.
Absolutely. I mean, the Chiefs are still going to be a force to be reckoned with down the road. But I mean, the Detroit Lions are here. They are real. Give them the credit where credit is due. Give me that lock. That's a take of the year.
Take of the year. Next game, 24-10. The Atlanta Falcons beat the Carolina Panthers. This is kind of a snoozer, but shout out to the Falcons. Bijan Robinson, kind of real.
Kind of a snoozer, but yeah, Bijan, that first touchdown, pretty, so pretty. And Bryce Young, impressed. Pretty impressed, man.
And welcome to the jungle. 3-24. The Browns win, huh? What? Trouble in Burrow? Uh-oh. Jay Cool, you got to get it fixed.
Well, I mean, Joe Burrow, 82 yards, right? Highest paid player in the NFL. Come on now. Got to be a little bit better.
Go now. 31-21. Jacksonville Jaguars win over the Colts. Jags are back. Hype train. Let's go.
They're back. Ridley.
Buccaneers beat the Vikings 2017. Tampa upset. Baker, talk to me.
It's Kirk Cousins. We know this.
Saints win 16-15 over the Titans. Snoozer. Meh. Derrick Henry still a dog. 2016, the Commanders beat the quarterless back Cardinals.
Many men.
Lightning strikes 25-9. The Ravens win. And I've been telling y'all about Zay Flowers. He looked real good. He's about to blossom.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good. He got a little blossom to him. I will say overall, a little sloppy both sides. CJ Stroud, not a bad debut, but we'll get there.
We will get there in 17-16 W for the Raiders. Which is kind of surprising.
DBG's a winner. He's just a winner. All right.
He is. That is a great stat. He is a winner. Doesn't matter about how much, but in the stat book, that is a W to the Las Vegas Raiders. And going for onside kick to start out a game. You love seeing that out of Sean Payton. Next up, kind of a barn burner on Tom Brady night. 25-20, the Eagles do win. It was a very emotional night, and I think they slowed down, thought they were just a better team, and kind of played around with their food. So I think it was a lot closer than it should have been. And obviously, we'll see tonight how well the Eagles can do.
Absolutely. I would say, I mean, this is the defending NFC champs. Looked a little sloppy coming out, but I was more impressed with the pass game of the Patriots. Like they just looked much improved as an offense against what should be a tough defense in the Eagles. Gotta like it.
And our last team in the lightning round, the Rams, 30-13 without Cooper Kupp. Matt Stafford back maybe, but I think it's more on that Seahawks defense. Those are going to be two teams to definitely look out for as the year continues on, if the Rams can continue it or if the Seahawks can bounce back.
To me, I'd say upset of the weekend right there, to be honest. As far as expectations go, I mean, offense looked a little stagnant for the Seahawks. Defense couldn't stop a cold. A lot of questions.
A lot of questions, and that ends our lightning round. Trying to highlight all those teams at the very end to make sure we do get to it. All right, and last thing, if you want to come on to the Mickey Zizzy podcast, please do so. Hit us up. We'll get you in for an interview. If you want to talk sports, if you want to be on a week recap, hey, we got y'all. But y'all know what to do, Mr. Zizzy.
If you're talking sports, just a matchup. Mickey here with Zizzy. Yeah, we cutting it up. Just a couple athletic enthusiasts. You know what it is. The Mickey Zizzy podcast. Have a great night, everybody. Peace.
Peace.